Let's take a quick look at the contents of the kit. Here are your gloves to keep things clean. This is your collection syringe. This end here screws onto your filter housing. The small syringe is the preservative syringe that you'll put in at the end of collection. This is your filter housing. It's contained in a black bag that is sealed to keep out contamination. When you're done filtering and putting the preservative into the filter housing, you'll put these caps on here on both ends of the filter housing and put it right back into the black bag to keep out any more contamination. The black bag also contains the QR code. You'll use this code to enter into the Jonah DNA app. And lastly, you should, with your kit, have a self-addressed stamped envelope to head out to the lab.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take the filter off. I'm going to want to just rinse my gloves downstream of where we're collecting the sample a little bit. That way, if there's any residual anything on my gloves that could interfere with the sample, it's not there. And I'm going to do the same with the syringe as well, since that's the part that we're actually putting into the water to collect the sample. So I just want to make sure anything that's on me that could potentially contaminate the sample is washed away. Keeping the filter out of the water, go ahead and pull up our first 60 mils. And then again, we're going to screw the smaller end of the filter onto the syringe. I would let the air bubble come up to the top so that the air isn't the first thing coming through the filter. And then we're just going to filter. You don't want to use too much pressure when you do this because you have the possibility of damaging the filter. So you want a steady stream, but don't force the water out like crazy. And already I'm getting some resistance after half of a filter. I would try to dispense your water downstream from where you're actually taking your sample a little bit, just so that you're not potentially having mixing between your filtered water and the water from the stream that we're sending. So now I've totally plunged through that first 60 mils, so we take our filter back off. Take another 60 mils. I'm just going to repeat this process until you can no longer push more fluid through. So now it's going to fit again. We put the smaller end into the screw end. We're going to seat our filter with preservative. You use 1 mil, so this whole syringe, it looks like.
If you can. I think there's usually leftover.
Is it ethanol? Like, am I told to just discharge it? Or
yes.
Okay.
Get your cap on.
So put our first cap on one side, and we'll take our second cap, other side, once we screw off the syringe. So now this one, you have the wider end fitting onto the narrower end, so it should look just like that. And now that just goes straight back into the black bag where the filter came out of, and we're all done. Just make sure that's sealed up. And we're good to go.